Very tough experience.
Okay.
My journey, but it's a beautiful journey. I mean,
Your approach is towards feminism.
It's not actually. Actually there are two things I'm trying to tell here. From a societal perspective, it's about blame and we often in the films and we often see stories being told about a victim or about a culprit. We haven't really explored much about how a victim's or a culprit's family would go through.
Not my hobby, but this is my mission. This is my vision, because using the movie, I can separate, I can disperse, I can increase the community level at the local community level, increase their voices, so people in around the world, in Indonesia, in global, can know about what is going to happen in the local community.
সিনেমা হলো কবিতার মতো। সেই বাঙালি কবি লিখেছিলেন, কবিতা হলো মুক্তাবের মেয়ে চুল খোলা আয়েশা আক্তার। So there is a poetry, there is a cinema, and today we will talk with an Italian filmmaker. So welcome, Stefani.
thank you.
How do you describe your journey as a filmmaker?
My journey
Exactly.
Here?
How do you describe?
as a director, I'm sorry. Very tough experience.
Okay.
My journey, but it's a beautiful journey. I mean, I started. Now I'm serious. I'm started study production in 218 in the New York Film Academy. First, I was wondering to study directing. Then I move and I study producing. In 2018, because for me, if you want to be a good director, you nowadays, I mean, you have also to know some part of production, some problem, the crew, the scouting, the location, everything. No, if you have a few knowledge about how it works, maybe the director that is an artist, because has some feeling inside that want to share with people, can be a little bit inside a binary, no? Of course, you are free as a director, but if you know something more of production, for me is better, because it's a very tough work.
Okay. Second thing, Stefani, that in your film we find a fairy tale of forest and human relation. How do you describe that fairy tale?
For me, fairy tale in life is everything, because nowadays we are in a society full of fake stuff, fake news, fake everything, and when you want to go with your mind in a good place, you have to go in the fairy tales. So we need fairy tales as human being, as when we were child, to live better. So this is I want to explore with Micella. My film started with a personal experience into the wood, because I go inside the wood to take mushroom. I love the reality of the nature, but also I wanted to push up this part of hyperrealism into something different, into a fable, because when you try to create a fable for people that is watching, like a wood, just a wood, to make a fable, you have to put together a lot of elements, the sound, the soundtrack.
You spend 4 weeks in forest.
In total. Yes.
এবার আমি বাংলায় কোয়েশ্চেনটা করছি। মৌমিতা আমাদের সঙ্গে আছেন, উনি ইটালিয়ান এক্সপার্ট, উনি বুঝিয়ে দেবেন কোয়েশ্চেনটা। যে স্টিফানি, আমার যে জায়গাটা বক্তব্য, সেটা হচ্ছে ইটালি তো একভাবে নিউ রিয়ালিজমের জন্মভূমি। ওখানে আমরা ফেডরিকো ফেলিনির মতো পরিচালককে পেয়েছি। সেই জায়গায় দাঁড়িয়ে তোমার ছবিতে কিভাবে নিউ রিয়েলিজম কথা বলেছে এবং এই মুহূর্তে অ্যাজ এ ফিল্ম মেকার কি ক্রাইসিসের সামনে তুমি আছো, এবং তার সঙ্গে আরেকটা প্রশ্ন, তুমি কি ভূতের রাজাকে চেনো, সত্যজিতের ভূতের রাজা?
La stessa cosa chiede per neorealismo e riferisce anche Federico Fellini, dice come hai dipinto nel tuo film questo neorealismo, e poi un'altra domanda ha fatto, poi ti spiego.
Okay, for the neorealism, you have to watch my previous work, La moda del liscio, about local music in Emilia-Romagna. It was a music that is a folklore romagnolo where people danced like 90 years ago. And there was school, there was ballet, there were this folklore dancing that is a tradition. And Fellini was born in Romagna, where I live. And if you see my previous work, you can see a lot of Fellinian face, because I put inside the realistic people, very expressive people, because for me, the realism is everything. In this film, in Micelia, I converted a little bit because yes, of course we have Alberto, but he's a normal human being and he pick up mushroom, just immersive in the nature. So this neorealism into Micelia is converted, putting it together other elements.
Chiede ancora se conosci Bhuter Raja, si chiama, è una creatura di 7G3 che è 7G3 è un direttore famoso bengalese. না, উনি সত্যজিৎ রায়ের ভূতের রাজার সাথে পরিচিত নন।
হ্যাঁ, আমার একটা রিকোয়েস্ট থাকবে স্টিফানিকে, যে যখন আপনি করছেন নিউ রিয়েলিজম, যখন আপনি রূপকথা আঁকছেন, এটা ভূতের রাজাকে চেনা দরকার নাকি?
Siccome stai facendo le favole, allora dice di conoscere un po' la nostra direttore famoso, il Bhuter Raja si chiama Satyajit Ray, il direttore famoso del Bengala, di conoscere questa persona e il suo film.
So today's last question.
Okay.
What is the main political crisis and social crisis of today's Italy?
The main political crisis. As I said before, I think that the political crisis that there is in Italy is also maybe a little bit what there is in Europe. No, Italy is a little borgo, we say. Yes, it's a lovely country to visit and to.
Is there a threat of new Nazism?
One moment.
Okay, please.
It's a beautiful country where living with a lot of tradition, with nature, with seaside, with mountain, but it's also have a lot of story. So to maintain the history and stuff like this, we have to introduce a new cave for the tourist that can enjoy that part. And we are quite open to Europe and to other country. Italy is a very open-minded, I think, country. I don't feel this kind of problem in between human. The political crisis goes beside economic crisis. Economic crisis is also in Germany, in France, in Italy. So I think that in this year and in the future, we will see problems, economic problems.
So আমরা দেখলাম একা স্বপ্নের সামনে আমরা দাঁড়িয়ে আছি, যে স্বপ্নগুলো বললো yes there is a crisis but man has the power to overcome it. So we can quote that beautiful line, two roads are separated in the woods, I chose the less traveled by, that make all the differences.
Right, amazing.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Cinema is everything. Cinema is illusion, cinema is dream, cinema is like a poetry. So today we are talking with Dipti Nirmala Gems. Okay, Dipti, welcome.
Thank you for the introduction. Namaskar. Hello,
You
everyone.
are from Kerala. You are
That's
Kerala.
right. I'm based in Melbourne, Australia, but I'm from Kerala.
So you are from God's own city, own country.
Yes, I am.
How do you depict your first film?
Well, my first film is an English film. The name of the short film is Whirlpool. The film is about a woman who gets to hear about a very tragic news, and the film shows the impact of it on her. It's an emotional journey of the main character. So it's a psychological drama with some thriller elements.
Okay. So we are finding three things: drama and psychological thriller. Is this your approach is towards feminism?
It's not actually. Actually there are two things I'm trying to tell here. From a societal perspective, it's about blame and we often in the films and we often see stories being told about a victim or about a culprit. We haven't really explored much about how a victim's or a culprit's family would go through. So this plot is where a person gets accused of a crime, but how does that impact the immediate family member who is the central character in this film? Her name is Rose, but we often forget about like what happens to this family. The husband is blamed with somebody, and the family but has to cope with the blame, the shame, the scrutiny, the pain, and their whole life changes. So the story talks about that from a societal perspective. In short, I can say it speaks about empathy. The second thing I'm trying to showcase through this film is the impact of trauma on someone's life. So when we all have like moments of life is full of ups and downs. So when we have a down moment, like a very very low moment, how does it impact us? How does the relationships around us changes? How does our whole world gets into a different shape? How do your sense of self gets changed? So, and how do you find inner strength when you're really low?
When you were talking about inner strength,
Yeah.
I find inner strength in the films of Adur Gopal Krishnan.
Yes, yeah.
The living god of Kerala.
Yeah.
How do you describe today's economic and social crisis of Kerala?
Yeah, I think with Kerala, our biggest issue, like from a social perspective and political perspective, there are a lot of issues. The one I would like to point out is about the Mullaperiyar dam issue. We've had like natural calamities in the recent, as we all know through the news. And that is one thing, Mullaperiyar dam is like a very, very, it's like an impending doom Kerala people is really afraid of. And I hope the authorities will look into it and come up with a solution. And the second thing is about I just wanted to also say it's not a Kerala issue, but the youth are really spending a lot of time on technology. They're getting disconnected with human relationships, and not everybody I'm saying, but it's happening, and I'm a little bit worried about that as well. Yeah.
Okay. You are based in Kerala and you are now living in Melbourne.
That's right. Yeah.
What is the major conflict within you in Melbourne?
I think I don't know if it's a major conflict. I was going in a different career direction. So, I went to Melbourne to work and I've settled there. I have family there. But towards a point, I decided to really follow my passion towards cinema. So I'm just starting off with my, debut short film Whirlpool. So I think the major challenge for me is to how I'm going to break into the Australian Indo film industry. So
উৎসবের আলোতে আন্তর্জাতিক সিনেমা এবং আজকে ইন্দোনেশিয়ান সিনেমা নিয়ে আমরা কথা বলবো এমন একজনের সঙ্গে যিনি কিনা পরিচালক নন, যিনি কিনা প্রোডিউসার। ফলে ওয়েলকাম গুইন্ডিয়া টু কথা মুখ।
Thank you.
So Guindia, please take it in hand. That will be okay.
Okay.
Guindia, you are you are a producer.
Yes, I am the producer.
Producing of cinema is really a thing of risk. How do you describe your job and role?
Yeah, this is actually is my not my hobby, but this is my mission. This is my vision, because using the movie, I can separate, I can disperse, I can increase the community level at the local community level, increase their voices, so people in around the world, in Indonesia, in global, can know about what is going to happen in the local community.
How do you describe Calcutta? Well, you are in Calcutta. How do you describe the city and this film festival?
Kolkata is very warm city, and then the people is very warm. Also, they're very helpful, and the Kolkata Film Festival is very huge festival. It's a lot of people in the Kolkata have the interest to see that the movie, and then this is very make me surprised.
Is it a fairy tale? Is it like a fairy tale? Kolkata is like a fairy tale.
Yeah, this is good.
Okay. In Indonesian cinema, what is the prime interest of focusing? What is your focusing? What is the prime interest of focusing?
For me or for all?
For all.
For Indonesia. Right now, Indonesia is a lot of horror movie. Yeah,
All people like ghosts.
yeah. Horror movie is have a lot of the segment, a lot of the market in Indonesia. Indonesia, every production house should produce the horror movie to get money.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are rich people. You are also
No,
producing
no.
horror movie.
No, I'm never produced the horror movie. So I'm not the rich people. I'm using the funding from other organization to make the movie.
Is these movies are feminist? The movies you are producing? These movies are feminist in approach.
In the harmony, not really feminist, but the other movie I have produced one movie called title Empu. Empu means women, and also the women. This is very feminist movie. The movie is told about story about three women in the remote area in Indonesia.
Please elaborate the story.
My first movie is title is Empu. Empu in English is sugar on the weaver chair. This is talk about the story from three women from three different area in Indonesia, how they deal with the economy things, how they deal with that capability, because one of the actress is she has the disability to walking. Yeah, and then how they deal with the land, how they deal with the law in Indonesia. This is the feminist thing in my first movie.
In your movies, we find the hinterlands of Indonesia, the stories of hinterlands.
You can find in the YouTube that movie.
I'm telling you another thing.
Yeah.
In your movies, you emphasize on the stories of hinterlands, stories of villages, stories of development.
Yeah, all of the movie I talk about the local community, about the land, about the remote area, about the village.
What is the basic crisis of today's Indonesia?
The basic crisis in Indonesia right now is, I think it's almost the same with other country. It's about the economy and also about the chance to get the work for the young people.
So poverty and economy makes us friends. We are same boat brothers.
Yeah.
So my last question is, what is your dream about film and about emancipation of Indonesia and the emancipation of humankind?
My dream about the emancipation is someday everybody can be equal, but equal as the woman and also equal as the man, because man and woman sometimes women can do like men and then sometimes men can do like woman. So this is like the gender still the equal, like how the women and men can join together. And my dream is how the Indonesia can help a lot of the local community, not only focus in the segmented area or not only focus in the several people, but all of the people in Indonesia from Aceh to Papua.
How many films would you produce now?
Three.
Three films.
Three film.
Can you tell me the budget?
The budget is around $25,000 until $50,000.
All are documentaries.
Not documentary. This is actually narrative movie.
There's a fiction, non-fiction.
Fiction.
So here, once upon a time, a poet called it, "We have a dream." Indonesia gives us a dream for united Asia, a dream for united and beautiful world, right?
Right.
So